GM, we're live. Go AZ Cards. Hey, GM to you. I am feeling a bit better, so I do truly appreciate that. Still getting it all together, not 100%, but we're off of the injury report. I'd have to say, Chris, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. Likewise, Greg, VS, GM Candles, and gang. Yeah, good morning, everybody. I guess to just recap, I don't want to say news, but just a little bit of interesting stuff, a little bit of FUD on Trey Benson. Some of the Twitter docs came out and said it looked like he might have gotten rolled up late in the game, which might have been part of the reason that we saw um, DeMercado and who was the other guy? The other guy, anyway, who came in. And so we didn't see Benson at the very end of the game, and it was like chalked up to it being the 2-minute drill. But it's possible Trey Benson has suffered some sort of injury. I think we'll get clarity today when the official practice reports come out. But for right now, I'm not really taking him in BRs, mostly because I think even if he's healthy, he's probably going to live in that third to sixth round. I'd be surprised if he was even really a third rounder. So I think he's essentially free or in that range where everyone's kind of filling out stacks and scrolling, that I think there's a little bit more downside risk to picking him. You could play that the other way. You could play it where you want to load up, and then if he's healthy, worst case, you get the Q tag. I guess for me, it's more, I don't know how much you truly win when you win versus some of the other options. So for right now, I'm going to be a little bit lighter on Benson, but something to keep out for. Chris asks, how's the bouncing baby boy? He's doing great. He is doing great. He's healthy. He slept through the night. Everything's good. Appreciate you asking there, Chris. But yeah, no, he's doing good. Joel, GM to you. Chris hopes his 17% Trey Benson and BBM. Hopes these reports are wrong. Chris, for some reason, I actually have 0 in BBM. I don't know how that happened because I have him in other contests. So that just goes to show I really might need to capitulate to big overlay. Because it wasn't like an intentional full fade. I didn't love Trey Benson. I didn't think he was that great, but he was the backup in a system where they do tend to get one running back heavily involved. So he's not somebody I really I expected to find like 4 to 5%. I was actually shocked somehow. I literally had 0 in BBM specifically. So kind of an odd run out for me there. But I guess without further ado, we can hop into a BR. See what the slate is. So if we do look at the running backs, Trey Benson's ADP of 34.9. And I don't think people are even, he doesn't have a Q tag on here. So again, I don't think there's I don't necessarily think there's a grand reason why we need to be, loading up on those shares now. But if you really think it's a great matchup, and again, if you don't get him, there's a lot of good scrolls, after him. I would be happy if I got Kamara, Hubbard, Marks, Ken Walker. Those are all going to be fine. So I would say if you want to just play it where you're willing to take the risk, that's fine. But that's just something to be aware of here. Chris says, I just felt like AZ is a concentrated offense, even if they're not too good. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I don't know why I have 0. I think it's a perfectly good pick. Just kind of, I guess I was taking other people in that range. I was taking a lot of quarterbacks where he went. I was taking a lot of third QB in that kind of like 140 to 160 range where Benson hung out. I'm assuming that's why, and I would suspect I'm kind of lighter on some of the other players in that range. But that's just my thought there. Greg, missed all the reactions last few days. What a rough, yeah. Neighbors and Hill going down are just absolutely nightmare fuel for us who play this game, where we are in July trying to project what happens in late December, and then we don't even get to October with our first round pick with Neighbors and with a 2-3 turn player in Hill. It's a pretty big bummer. It's a pretty big bummer. I mean, the injuries are mounting up, in addition to, of course, James Conner, Joe Burrow. Like we're we're losing we're losing guys fast here. So we do have some a bit of a star-studded cast here. We got Easy. Oops, that's not what I meant to click. I'll take Hampton here. We got Easy in at the 2 and Psychedelic Curves at the 6-7. At the 6-7. Um, I suppose I'll just do I'll stick with ADP kind of on this first one. I don't want to be totally out on Saquon. I do think Denver's kind of beatable in the run. It does concern me. I feel like they kind of gave Saquon a bit of a make-a-wish touchdown with the fake tush push, which was a little surprising to see in that early in the season, because it was a pretty cool play that they kind of burned. Made teams aware of it. But it does feel like they really did want to get Saquon more involved. Denver obviously notoriously stingy through the air, so I am happy to just end up kind of at market on Saquon. Don't want that to be a big position. Amari and Hampton, of course, looked pretty good. I think they did lose their. I think Joe Alt, their tackle, is going to be out for like 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. So there is a little bit of. I do have some concern about the Chargers just having a little bit of trouble. Washington's pass rush, I think, is fairly decent. So it might be a little bit of a tough sledding for Hampton, but the workload was huge. And Washington, of course, did not look very good against Atlanta. All right, we're just gonna take Tyler Warren here. This slate of tight end is very interesting. And if I pull up the board, so we have Bowers, McBride go in the second round, then you're gonna have Warren and Fergie. If you don't take Warren or Fergie, by the way, his target share has been crazy high. All right, I don't think I want QJ. I don't want to be totally out on Jamar Chase. I'm going to take a little bit of him. Detroit's defense is kind of bad. Like they're not good. So I don't want to, miss the game where Browning targets Jamar Chase 16 times and I just have 0 out of principle. So again, I think I'm playing some of these guys on the slate a little bit safe. I don't want to take huge stands against some of them, but I am mixing in some guys that are don't feel like the most fun clicks this week. Jake says Kyler is the Arizona piece I want this week. I think I don't mind Kyler stacks at all, and he's going to be pretty low owned in these because I haven't seen too many people scrolling for MHJ. Obviously, McBride is taken in every draft. Like he's going to be in 98% owned. Like you might randomly get one weird room that doesn't have him, but he's going to be owned in all of the 6 persons. And so maybe that pulls some Kyler in, but I don't know. I think he is going to flying a little bit under the radar. The Gale says, I hope the Dallas game doesn't bust because I'm all in. Good day, sir. Hey, the Gale, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Yeah, I feel like I have some worry that the Jets are really going to try to turn that game into a massive slog. We saw they didn't want to, air it out against the Dolphins, who have 0 secondary. I guess if anyone has a worse secondary than the Dolphins, it might be Dallas. So you never know. Jets defense is not good. So I don't know. I'm definitely playing a bit of that game. I'll take Ted McMillan against the aforementioned Miami Dolphins. I could have taken JMO game stacked. That the one issue of doing it the way I did is I don't really want Browning stacks. Bryce Young, I actually think is rosterable this week. It's kind of a gross click, but I'm going to sprinkle some Bryce Young in. I think I will play this game though through the Danny Dimes to Warren combination. So didn't really do a ton of scrolling. There's a world where this team is duped. I didn't really defer too much from ADP or get any crazy values, but I don't mind this team in the portfolio. Daniel Jones, Omari and Hampton, Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase, Ted McMillan, and Tyler Warren. Let's see what Easy did. Easy, I know he knows what he's doing. He's got Taylor, Henry, Nico Collins. He did end up stacking Justin Fields with Mason Taylor and Jacoby Myers. I don't know is that a scroll on Myers? Am I going to find out? Myers. Yeah, 35.6. So that's a bit of a scroll. A bit of a scroll wide receiver Jacoby Myers there. So I like the team he put together there. Let's hop right into another one. Let's hop into another. I will get the night drive driving along. I imagine today we will get our eliminator pods. For me, my eliminator pod, singular, unfortunately, down. Down to the last minute. Down to the last. A little bit of run bad. Only got 1 out of 4 last week. I think I probably should have gotten 2, but you know what? That's how it goes. Especially when you get down to only a handful of teams. It only takes one bad team to really skew the percentages. So a little unfortunate. I'm definitely no eliminator Dan, who famously has like 40 teams left or something crazy, like absolutely crushing that contest right now. So we'll see. Hopefully my little team survives. My big elim team still alive, which is exciting. So bye weeks are coming. They're going to start impacting those contests. They're going to start impacting BBM advance rate stuff. You're going to see some swings week to week. But yeah, we're in the thickest football season. We are truly in the thick of it. Greg says, at least we get Malik Washington rocket ships now. The last picks coming through big time. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor at the 101. But yeah, it definitely has to be, losing Tyreek sucks. This definitely has to be a net positive for Malik Washington. It might just be annoying with Westbrook Ikeen. He came in. I think he took a lot of the just like stood in for Tyreek. We'll see what happens when they have a full week of practice and scheming for life without Hill, what that looks like. I'm afraid it's going to be kind of like a timeshare where none of them are super fantasy relevant. It's also possible the Dolphins offense just like turns to dust, but we'll see. I mean, McDaniel was able to make Jonnu like an absolute league winner, so he certainly can spin, some late fantasy dust into gold. We'll see if it's Malik Washington. It could be Darren Waller, but my God, it just that just seems so dark. All right, so we got Jonathan Taylor on this team. I wouldn't mind Trey McBride, but neither would Packers fan. So Trey McBride goes. Bucky Irving is off my draft board now. He's getting an MRI on his ankle. It's pretty dodgy. It's pretty dodgy there. I'll take Scatabo, and I'll take a Derrick Henry share. Again, I think I can't take a Derrick Henry share because I can't take 3 running backs. All right, I'll take a Emeka Egbuka. That's fine. Yeah, but as I was saying, Derrick Henry, I don't mind that. I mean, people are writing off the Ravens for dead with Drew Lock at not Drew Lock, Cooper Rush at quarterback, and they might just give Derrick Henry the ball 30 times. And Houston's defense is not bad, but we're all very nervous about Derrick Henry, so it just wouldn't surprise me to be this game where he puts up like 35 fantasy points and absolutely buries all of us. So I'm kind of playing this week a little bit out of fear, not fading Barkley, not fading Henry, but I do think they're live to remind us why they were such high picks this year. The Gale says, bold call, Mason Taylor is a tight end you need this week 2 touchdowns. I mean, they were getting him involved. Certainly possible. Like what we saw from him. Last week. So, and we saw Easy take him. Easy knows what he's doing. So, definitely going to be sprinkling some of that in. James has 51 of 150 BBMs with either Tyreek or Neighbors. Oh my God. That sucks. I don't know what else to say. That is a brutal run out, James. Paul asking, am I sick? Yes, and I really need to blow my nose, so I'm going to do that after my next pick. I've been sick for days. I finally feel better, but I don't sound 100% yet. Mike says Derrick Henry is a historical beast versus the Texans. That's also true. Back when he was on the Titans, he would circle those games, which always seemed to happen late in December, and he would go absolutely nuclear. All right, let's do Debo Daniels. Let's do a Debo Daniels thing. I mean, we're still not 100% sure if Daniels is going to play. If he doesn't, a quarterback is deep enough to where we can play the Q-Tag lottery there and mix that in. So we'll take Campbell and this team with a tight end. We'll see what scroll tight end we get. I'm gonna mute the mic and blow my nose. All right, sweet. I also realized I never tweeted out that I was going live, so I'm gonna try to do that. We're live. All right, there we go. I'm sure that'll Twitter absolutely hates when you try to link to people outside of Twitter, so they just absolutely nuke your reach. So probably no one will ever see that, but I'd be remiss if I didn't at least try. Hold on one second. I'm getting a... Okay. All right. Sorry. I was getting a message from my my kid's daycare, but it was a general parent announcement, not like pick up your child. All right. So we still need a wide receiver. Dallas Goedert makes a ton of sense. He's getting a lot of manufactured stuff. Juwan Johnson, Mason Taylor. There are a few good scrolls down here. Definitely a few good scrolls down here. I guess I'll take a Juwan Johnson share. I'm trying to mix this up a little bit. I think he might see a little bit of a bounce back. Buffalo is very good against tight ends, so I'm not afraid of that. I'm a little afraid if Foster Moreau is back, that could be a little bit annoying. Taysom Hill and Moreau are practicing, so we could lose a little bit of the pure, ownership of the tight end slot. But that could be like a week 7 problem more than a week 5 problem. So this team ends up being Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Scatabo, Emeka Egbuka, Debo Samuel, and Juwan Johnson. Let's see what's going on in Dawg Bowl land. I have this weird hunch that it's going to be like waiting for 11, but let's see what it's at. Wait for 6. All right, might as well be 11. We're not going to hang out for that. We'll just keep ripping through some BRs here. I told myself before the stream I was going to start being like Davis and timestamp my drafts, and I realized I completely forgot to do that, and now it's probably too late for that to make sense. But you know what? Maybe I can do it. All right. Maybe I can actually do it. And I'll make rewatchability a little better. 1824, third BR. All right. This might be annoying for the viewer, and I'm not as good at multitasking as Davis, so I probably shouldn't do this. All right. Anyway, we're in the 3-hole. I don't think I see any of y'all in here. Psychedelic Curse is back in action. Again, really just mixing up this first round. I'm going to later in the week do some where I just completely skip the first 6 picks, just as a way to get different. I mean, there is something to be said that BR is a game of combinations versus ADP value. So if none of these guys are who you need, you can just literally guarantee you have a unique lineup if you just start your lineup with like Garrett Wilson. So I do think if anyone does it, it would be someone in the 6-hole going Garrett Wilson, George Pickens. I think you're going to see that. So that's like the one thing I probably wouldn't do. But if you start your lineup with Derrick Henry, you're going to be unique. But I think it's too early in the week to do that. I kind of want to let the ADPs settle out and not forego just the standard, the players we're going to get now. Like, absolutely happy taking Devon A-Chain. It's a pretty good chance they built a plane out of A-Chain this week. Mike says, Sunday Vikings-Browns game. The universe loves to give our big hype players a big game on an island, so we can't use them for big contests. Fannin definitely scoring a touchdown. I like that in your world, Vikings-Browns is the big hype game. But I mean, they do have some fun pieces for sure. They definitely do. I mean, Judkins is. I'd classify Judkins as fun. The Vikings receivers, Addison and Jefferson, are fun. Hawkinson, not fun. Fannin, fun. So yeah, there's definitely some fun players in the London game this week that we don't get access to on this main slate here. But I don't mind the early game, but I'm also live on the East Coast. So if you're in California, it's a pretty early start for you out there. All right, so we got A Chain here. I guess I'll just do A Chain Saquon. The problem is I like some of these. You know what? I'll do A Chain Nico. I like some of the scroll running backs, so I don't want to just like take 2 early running backs every time and end up with no like Scatabo, Genti, Javonte, Breece Hall in that range. The weird one for me is David Montgomery. It is hard for me to get there. He might get there, and it's a little bit like random with how they divvy up the pie, but it does feel like this year it is definitely more leaning towards Gibbs. That game's projecting to be a blowout, so it's possible he gets all the late work, but if all the early touchdowns go to Gibbs, like there's no guarantee that Montgomery is doing much late. I don't know. To me, it feels a little cute, but we'll see. I may get to that by the end of the week. I'm struggling to see that right now. Wrote that wrong. Game will suck, but fanned into his hype all season. Will have his big game, then disappoint next week when he goes top 4 to 5. Yeah, and the DK. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We're all gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we couldn't have played Fannin on this slate. And jam him next week, and then he'll be just like hot garbage. I definitely could see that. I definitely could see that run out. Big struggles here. All right, so just looking at it, I think a lot of running backs are going to go. To my right, only one running back's been taken. So as much as I do want either Bowers or Warren, I think I'm just going to use this chance to take Genti, who I do want some of this week. So again, maybe I forewent a little value of Henry. He obviously would be a bring back to Nico, but I'm not super bring back oriented on these main BRs. Joel says, feel like we're due for a Monty fall in the end zone 3 times games. Yeah, I mean, he did fall in the end zone, I believe, twice against the Ravens. So we kind of got there a little bit already. But yeah, we'll see. Chris says, just look, my highest scoring team not advancing as both Rashee Rice and Jordan and Addison. Well, I'd have to imagine that team probably will ultimately advance, Chris, because that's a lot of firepower that you're about to get back. The Gale, got to get some Monty to cover your Gibbs shares. Not a fun click for sure, though. Yeah, it is not a fun click. Like, it is whatever the opposite of fun is. It's that. I am really trying everything I can to not do that. All right, none of these guys have tight end, so I think this is the time to take a tight end. I don't think I want Bowers and Genti. I mean, I don't think that's like the end of the world, but I'm trying not to overstack my early builds. So we'll take Ferguson there. I do like Jake Ferguson. This, his volume and target share has been huge. The yardage hasn't really been there, but I think he's pretty good. Maybe we do make this a JMO team. If Justin Fields comes back, that's certainly live. It's hard to pass. For me, it's still hard to pass on Jalen Hurts, even if they're playing Denver. Sometimes these games can like shoot out a little more than we're expecting. Goff and JMO is a nice little instant stack you can do late. That's almost free. It's almost free. I think JMO has been getting a little bit of steam. I don't think he's going to steam so much that he's going to be like, oh, I got to take him now because he's going to be a 3rd round pick. I don't think we're going to see anything like that, but he's definitely in the steamy category there. Other options, I like Pittman a lot. I think going Pittman with Daniel Jones is kind of fun. I am not afraid of that Vegas defense whatsoever. And I think that's going to be a somewhat uncommon way to play that game. So let's do that. Let's do Pittman and let's do Pittman, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, if you will. I think his nickname has changed. Joel says late QB a lot less gross than late tight end this week. Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, we've already had Fields, Herbert, and Hurts go. which means, one of, Goff, Dak, Daniels, and Daniel Jones is going to go undrafted. Not to mention, like, Baker Dart is super clickable. You can take him unstacked. I think he's kind of fun. Kyler, we talked about earlier. Knicks, if this game could shoot out. I'm a little less into Tua just because he has 0 rushing upside. And, now I think but Bryce Young, I think Bryce Young is clickable. If he has one of those big rushing games, like Bryce Young could break the slate. And I know that sounds like really stupid. All right, so that's unfortunate that he took Daniel Jones. All right, he took Daniel Jones. So do we want to take Dak with Fergie, or do we want to... You know what? Let's do it. I said Bryce Young could break the slate. If he gets some rushing upside, let's take Bryce Young team. No one's doing this. No one's doing this because it might be bad. And you might really want to be stacking him with Ted McMillan or like a Tommy Tremble if you really want to get scrolly in tight ends. But we'll take an unstacked Bryce. That Miami defense is so bad. And who knows? Maybe it's back and forth with A-Chain and Bryce Young. So this team ends up being Bryce Young, Devon A-Chain, Ashton Genty, Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, and Jake Ferguson. All right, let's check in on the Dawg Bowl. Also, by the way, it's been 27 minutes. If you can like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Does a lot of good here. Keeps the lights on, keeps the drafts rolling. So again, appreciate it. Waiting for 4. Do we want to wait? I'll wait for a minute. If we get one more. Hey, Who Ames, up fam? Hey, GM to you, Who Ames. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Really appreciated your stream last night with Steve from Fanspeak. That was some good stuff. You all do a fantastic job breaking the games down. Two true ball knowers chopping it up. So I definitely recommend. If you don't subscribe to Who Ames, you should. If you don't subscribe to Fanspeak, you should as well. Catch more of Who Hames and Steve on there. And of course, Mike over at Fanspeak as well. You're getting healthier 13 minutes ago, 13 minutes earlier today, asking for the likes than yesterday. I know. I've got to do it. I've got to get better about that because, otherwise we'll continue to, if you don't ask, you just don't get it. Who Hames, we need to cut it down a little. I disagree. I think people tune into that because they like the in-depth analysis. So I like the way you guys do it, but obviously it's it is your show there. All right, so we're still waiting for 3, waiting for 2. All right. This gives me a great opportunity to blow my nose again. This is so brutal. All right, let me. Last time when I completely took the camera and mic off, I did a jump scare bringing it back, and I'm very I don't want to do that again. That was not great. I full screened myself, and I scared even myself here. All right, but yeah, this time I want to do the timestamps, but of course I'm not actually in this Dawg Bowl yet. Dawg Bowl. All right, so we're waiting for 2. I guess we can look at the Dawg Bowl landscape here. I will start with running back. So Bucky still has an ADP of 16.7. This started out in the top 10. I actually autoed him once, which I was so brutal at, because I knew he was hurt, but I didn't realize my Dawg Bowl had started, and I took him in one. Not super thrilled there. All right, let's get into where it gets a little more interesting. We'll see if Benson goes at 22 or not, if people are actually worried about this. The late running back scrolls, of course, Rachaad White, he's very interesting. If Bucky is out, Rachaad White is going to skyrocket up. I imagine we're going to see him get higher than pick 60 because people are aware of this eventuality. Woody Marks was going in the 50s. He's now up to 39.5. People are into that. Sean Tucker, we might see a sprinkle of. Beyond that, I think it's, you'd really have to tell yourself a tale to get down to RJ Harvey. But I mean, I don't hate it. I have to imagine some of that was game script involvement. Philadelphia is a little bit of a tough matchup, but he's not the worst click I think you can make if you're down in Narnia, because wide receiver actually gets very thin towards the end. So if we get down into the late 60s, like nobody's excited to go to war with Darius Slay and T. Higgins. Rashid Shaheed's always, I never mind sprinkling him in. I think he's a fine late click because he randomly can just score 2 touchdowns on 3 receptions and get home. But like Malik Washington, I think we need to see a little more. Is he truly going to step into the role? Is he going to split with Westbrook-Ikhine, like Io Manor, Trey Tucker? Like this is pretty gross territory for the deep scrolls. If we go to tight end, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the Tommy Tremble line's kind of, I think he's tight end 12. And if you go below that, I mean, you could make a case like Otten. It hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it's going to happen. Evan Ingram. Oh, God, I can't click Evan Ingram. Gadsden. I don't mind Gadsden. I think he might like sneak in, get a little more work. But it's pretty thin. It is pretty thin. Who-Aim's noting that it's a Turpin week. Yeah, it absolutely could be. It could be a Turpin week. It could be a Turpin week, and Dak is drafted a lot, and he's not frequently paired with Turpin, so it's not the worst way one could play it. Greg says, don't forget the return of Cedric Wilson. Dear God. Greg thinks Cedric snatches all the Westbrook-Ikhine routes. I hope not, man. I was excited about Westbrook-Ikhine, and yeah. I was wrong. Jake says Harvey 5 targets last week. Dobbins 7 targets on the year. Negative game script against Philly. Yeah, I think he might be clickable late, but we are off. We are off. A star-studded room as always. Casey Pollock, Dave. He's in all of these. The fake Chad, unfortunately, he's in here. We got J Dubs at the 4. Love to see that, Mr. Worth here. I'm at the 5. Tubin's winner of a seat last week at the 8. Cutler, and big high volume player, knows what he's doing. And of course, Crutches, their legend of the crypto and DFS streets at the 12. So tough room. Let's see. Yeah, imposter Chatteler. Agreed, Joel. It's not good. I'm gonna have to find him one day. Hey, Skeletor GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out today. Oh, I can do my timestamp. All right. Yikes. 33 minutes and all right. Sweet. All right. This is the kind of production value you guys should demand of the Chad Candles YouTube channel. Mike says crazy how AFC North came into the year with the 2 most exciting quarterbacks in the league, and now Rodgers is the top QB in the division. I don't think one QB could run under a 5.0 40. Yeah. I actually I took a small sprinkle on Ravens to miss the playoffs yesterday at plus 250. I feel like that's not a bad number. Plus 250 at this point. I mean, they're 1-3 and they're dogs to Houston. If they lose that, they're 1-4, and you're getting like 2.5 to 1 to miss the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, if it was a coin flip, I'd probably say they still get there because the division is so bad. But I took a little poke at that yesterday, which pains me because I live in Baltimore and I like the Ravens, but that number seemed possibly slightly stale, because it was like within 2 hours of the Lamar Jackson news, they took down the Ravens win totals in a lot of books, but they left up the playoff number. I don't know what it was before, so maybe that was the updated line, but anyway, that still seemed a little bit I don't know. Anyway, so we took Omarion Hampton at the 5. J-Dubs, he took Amon Ra at the 4. I'll keep the board up so people can see what's going on. It is nice to get to lock up Omarion Hampton over here. We'll see what we do if we go wide receiver, or if we do try to go elite, double elite running back here. I don't mind some of the this 3rd round running back range, so we might be able to push it, but we might not. Mike says, only blessing for Ravens is their hard-pressed schedule is now past them, and if Lamar actually comes back healthy after the bye, they will have a slight chance, but no room for mistakes. Yeah, again, I think if the odds were like plus 150, I would not have taken that. It feels like it only takes 1 or 2 losses in these next 2 games for it to become like they've got to really run the table. And they could always probably get a good hedge out price, because I mean, imagine if they lose 2 games, and that number, to make the playoffs, probably something around that. So we will see. But yeah, it certainly sucks. I mean, it sucks that this happened to Lamar Jackson, because again, it is so brutal. The Bengals went from like appointment TV, super fun to watch, to like, oh god, the Bengals, we need to like stack the defenses against them. So I do not like when the QB play is truly atrocious. All right, so we got Omari and Hampton here. Let's see what we want to do. I do like McMillan a lot. So does I don't even know how to say that guy's name, but the guy in the 6 hole, he likes him too. Or at the 2-6, I guess he's at the. Either way, he went. The guy at the 7 hole took him. Benson, Hubbard. So I guess running back is a little thinner than maybe I realized at this point here. I could potentially take Debo. I don't mind Chuba against the Dolphins, but maybe we'll go elite tight end here. Let's take Bowers. I don't love what I've seen from him this year, but if they take the knee brace off, I think we're going to get a big Bowers resurgence. So let's take Brock Bowers. Now I don't have to worry about the terrible tight ends at the bottom of the draft, and hopefully Bowers can get home for us there. So we got Hampton and Bowers. J-Dubs, he's got Amon-Ra and Igbuka, so a couple of solid wide receivers to start. Let's see what some of the best and brightest are doing. Crutches, he goes Genty Wilson. I like that. Tubins, he went Breece Hall, Trey McBride, so going running back, elite tight end. Fake Chad doing the same thing with A-Chain and Warren. So we'll see what the gods see fit to give to us. But yeah, wide. Geez Louise, running back does get pretty gross. At pick 44. By then, now we're in Tony Pollard, Chase Brown range, which is a little bit regrettable. So we'll see. We'll probably take a running back here, but we might push it. I could definitely see the argument for pushing it, or even just going 3 wide receivers and not pulling somebody up. So we'll see what the room hands to us. QJ going to the 1 hole. Jalen Waddle, he was going in the 50s before Monday Night Football. So there are some people who got a pretty nice deal on Waddle. I got one team with a very late Waddle before Monday Night Football, but that was my one late share. We see Ferguson go. So 4 tight ends through 2 rounds and 2 picks. So very, very much very much see people interested in these elite tight ends here. All right, so J-Dubs takes Kamara. I think I'll just go Chuba Hubbard. I'm pretty into the Dolphins not being good, and so I don't mind getting Hubbard there. I would have taken Hubbard or Kamara, so I was figuring J-Dubs would take one of them. So I am happy to get Chuba Hubbard on this team. So we got Hampton, Bowers, and Hubbard. The one nice part about Bowers is it's pretty uncommon for someone to take Geno, so you really, I can be a little less choosy with my receivers, because if I really need a stack, I can I generally have that available to me. Not every time. I mean, Crutches is live to take like Jacoby Myers, and then Geno like overstack he definitely could overstack the Raiders. That's open to him. We'll see what he does though. I doubt he'll do that, but I'm saying you do see people overstack teams in Dawg Bowls, and that would potentially be one way to do it. Jalen Hurts goes to Tubins. I like Hurts. I think it's pretty nice you can get him in the third round of these drafts. So he's got Breece Hall, Trey McBride, and Jalen Hurts. We'll see what Crutches does. John Montgomery goes at pick 35. Gosh, I just don't think I'm going to get Montgomery in the Dawg Bowl. I got to be honest. That just is like really, really tough for me. It feels like you're drawing to a very thin outs with him, but I don't know. The market disagrees. The market typically knows a lot. So Crutches, he plays the Q-tag game and goes with Bucky Irving. And of course, if Bucky Irving is healthy, we were taking him in the first round. And so, or Crutches just auto drafted. That's also possible. I simply don't know. And I will never know. But he takes Bucky Irving there. We'll see. If he takes MHJ, he might have autoed, but I don't think Crutches auto drafts. Well, he takes MHJ, so either liked MHJ there, or he is or he somehow is actually auto drafting. A little surprised Woody Marks is still here. Woody Marks keeps getting pulled up, but maybe now this is his true ADP, and so we're gonna stop seeing him get pulled ahead of it, and now he's gonna land about here. Man, wide receiver is so disgusting. Holy moly. I mean, there's like no chance I get JMO. JMO would be a podium pick, but we're not going to get him. Like, I don't really love Zay Flowers with Cooper Rush. I could be the overstacker and take Jacoby Myers. I mean, that's certainly in the realm of possibility. Olave should see better days against the Giants. I don't mind Olave, but yeesh, it's a little bit brutal. I don't really know if I want to take Jacoby Myers here. I could also take Herbert. I could do Herbert Hampton. I mean, Washington's defense looked pretty bad. All right, let's do that. Let's lock up. Let's lock that up. Let's say we're just going to get all the points in for the Chargers, and so we'll take that, and then we're just going to pick through the rubble of running back later. That could have been bad, but I don't know. I'm just like, Geno feels like a very uninspiring pick. I'd be interested to see what folks would have done. We're going to lose a lot of wide receivers here because like Dave doesn't have any. Chad's going to take at least one, you would think. So we'll see. We're going to get at least 3 more receivers off the board. Which does mean we could put, it's possible Keenan Allen comes back, and then we do Allen, Hampton, and Herbert, which I think is fine. So I think that would probably be the priority. If we don't get that, Cooper Rush could just like lock on to Zay Flowers, which is always possible. So we could potentially play it through that. All right, let's see if Casey Pollock goes 3 receiver or not. Chad's gonna choose. Love the third person review. Oh no. Yeah, I'm like a diva wide receiver talking in third person, and I'm really just like sweatily streaming best ball here. But yeah, Chad's gonna pick one. All right, Keenan Allen goes to Dave. Dave, you are the worst. Nobody likes you. All right, I guess we're going to have to take Zay Flowers, which is fine. That's mean. I actually don't know Dave. I'm sure people do like him, but he's not invited to my birthday party. But yeah, I'll take Zay Flowers. Why not? Why not? We'll get that in the game. We'll take Zay Flowers. We'll hope that Cooper Rush can do something. Although, Houston against like number 1 receivers has been a real problem. So this team could just be dead, to be honest. But we shall see. We got him a little past ADP, but that could be a fake ADP from when people were taking Lamar. Somehow my nose is getting like stuffier as the morning's going on. Normally it goes the other way. This is brutal. I can't breathe. Dave is sniping me. I have my quarterback stacked with a running back. It's all going sideways, people. It's all going sideways. All right, let's see what people with hope are doing. Let's see. J-Dubs, he went Amon-Ra, Igbuka, Kamara, Pollard, Mayfield. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice team. Makes sense. Igbuka, Mayfield, a couple of good running backs. Amon-Ra. It feels like a solid crew there. We see RJ Harvey going at pick 57. Feels late for Dak Prescott. He goes unstacked, but I can't even blame Kobe Goat for doing that. That is late. Crutches, he gets MHJ paired with Kyler. Let's see what tight end he takes. Dallas Goedert. All right. Makes sense. I like Crutches' team there. Lee is going to take another receiver. So we're going to lose 2 more receivers there. Wandale is live. Darius Slayton. Interesting. I think I'm going to try Rashid Shaheed if I can. And then if not, Devonta Smith. Playing the idea that if Surtain locks down AJ Brown, Devonta would have a good game. But obviously Tubins, he took him. Let's take Shaheed. He's not going to be owned at all of these. We'll try something. So this team ends up being Herbert, Hampton, Chuba Hubbard, Zay Flowers, Rashid Shaheed, Brock Bowers. If Zay Flowers was Keenan Allen, I would actually like this team, but Dave ruined our day. So I hope Shaq Charbonnet stubs his toe on the first play. So let's see what J-Dubs did. He goes Amon-Ra. He goes Igbuka, Kamara, Pollard, Mayfield, Mason Taylor. I like that team. Tubins, we'll check in on him because he won a Dawg Bowl seat. Breece Hall, Breece Hall. Wow, that seems so high for Breece Hall. Breece Hall, Trey McBride, Jalen Hurts, Jameson Williams, Chase Brown, and Devonta Smith. All right. All right. Greg says the Cooper Rush Flowers PPR game is going to happen. Flowers garbage time with Cooper was actually pretty good. That was what I was thinking, but the number one corner on Houston's name is escaping me, but he's actually pretty good. He can kind of be a bit of a lockdown corner. So that has me a little bit nervous that Flowers is going to have a bad time. But yeah, no, Cooper Rush definitely can lock onto guys. He did that in Dallas. He made Tolbert look good. So I don't know. I don't mind Flowers, but I'm just a little worried about this week. Gail asking if I'm getting Woody Mark shares. Is it chasing or getting the trend early? I think it's fine. I'm definitely in on Woody Marks. So, all right, that'll do it for the Dawg Bowl, and let's just hop into a regular old BR. Yes, thank you. It's so weird, Joel. I knew it was DS. I just couldn't pull the name out of my head. Yes, Derek Stigley. Yeah, he's no joke. He's one of those players that can cause problems for your wide receiver one. Huhames pulled Woody up to 37 yesterday. Yeah, I don't think that's wrong to do. He's it seems like he's just going to keep getting more work, and this Ravens team's defense is not good. Greg loves the Woody Mark stuff. Might make the Texans offense sort of work. All right, 49. All right, I'm doing the timestamps. 4th BR. Sweet. All right. So it looks like no one got in here. I'm going to pause and pull my nose again. Yeah, Mike noting only 6 out of 150 Sharps teams. Now, I know you want to take the man's toe out. Yeah, I was taking Scatabo in that range, Mike. That's why I'm so low on Sharps, because he was going kind of back to back in running back rank for most of BR. I feel like with Scatabo. Occasionally Scatabo would get steam or FUD, and he'd kind of shuffle around, but they were always in the same range, and I couldn't bring myself to click Charbonnet over Scatabo. So that's why I am so low on him. I actually think Charbonnet is fine, and it wasn't any great stand on the great Ken Walker Charbonnet debate but it was the opportunity cost was my favorite click in the tournament. I'm sorry, it looks like no one got in this draft. That's okay. Go AZ Cards. Didn't I pull up Marks yesterday on stream to early third? Get your guys. Yes, I believe you did. And I have quite a bit of him in the early. I haven't done a ton of Dawg Bowls, but I have him in many of my my early iterations of them. So we'll see. I do like I do like what he brings to the table. Especially being that we were all kind of like down on him as a prospect, but he's getting the opportunity. I think we were all also afraid of the offensive line in Houston being not good, but they're making it work. All right, we'll just take Omari and Hampton. That's fine. Greg asks, go AZ Cards, how the final go? Saw you next to me at one point. Wide receivers failed me big time. I think Go AZ Cards said that he didn't make noise in the Q1 final, but I'll let Go AZ Cards answer. All right, so we are coming up. I think I'll do a wide receiver here. I would take either Wilson or Pickens. I think maybe we'll do a George Pickens team. We'll queue Pickens up. If Pickens goes, I'll take Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, though, the volume is just out of control. But I'm in an early week. I'm just, okay, no, I'm not. I was gonna say early week, I'll take Garrett Wilson, and then when I want to get unique, I'll start taking Pickens there. But the fates spoke, so we ended up with Pickens. So we got Hampton and Pickens here. Huhaim's noting that he has seen that. Go AZ Cards Dawg Bowl qualifier punt tight end this week is all about the other 5 spots. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking the really late tight ends aren't like horrific. I think the really late running backs are pretty bad. Like if you need a running back in the 6th round, I don't think that exists. Like the wide receivers, I'm like convincing myself that Rashid Shaheed's a good click, and that might just be like massive cope. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how the slate's also going to change a lot when big ETR's projections come out, which I think they come out today. I don't remember what time, but I think ETR comes out on Wednesdays, and you see a big shuffle there. Yeah, Go AZ Cards did not do well in the 1Q. Well, I don't know if people are playing the 2Q. I have only done the 1 draft, and so we'll see. It's just I have not had the time to try to get too much more in there. Go AZ Cards, I got in with my tight end scoring 16 points less week 3. I didn't win 16 points less week 3. Are you saying you got in your tight end didn't score well? Sorry, Go AZ Cards, I'm confused. I can't remember how your team ended up. Let's take Ted McMillan. We'll keep picking on the Dolphins here. Go AZ Cards, Charles. At least you got there. Heartbreaker for me. I had all the running back pieces and scores at QB and tight end. Yeah, that's always so brutal when you have like 5 playable scores at wide receiver. It's like, well, I can't even use all of these, and then your like tight end scores like 1.5 points. He had Hunter Henry at 28. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I forgot. I couldn't remember if you were a Hunter Henry team or the team that like didn't need anybody somehow. All right, let's do Broccoli Bowers. I'm gonna play on him getting healthy again. Although this is not the place to get this information. Michael Mayer. Okay, I want to know if Michael Mayer is progressing through the concussion protocol. I have to imagine he is, because this is now like we're 2 weeks past. But yeah, I don't know. I do still want some Bowers, and I think that's a fun click there. Punched my ticket for the Dawg Bowl qualifier, had Juwan for 9-something when Andrews went off for 25. Gotcha. Was that... Okay. Gotcha. Oh, okay, I understand now. I'm on board. Okay. All right, so we've got Hampton, we've got Pickens, we've got Ted McMillan, excuse me, and Brock Bowers. I didn't do my Did I do my timestamp? I don't know. The timestamp thing is not going well. It's not going well, folks. All right, so we got Hampton, Pickens, Ted McMillan, Brock Bowers. Maybe we do Breece Hall, assuming Kev Slice doesn't take him. If Kev Slice does take him, then man, Woody Marks is all the way down here, huh? All right. I do like the idea of scrolling for Woody Marks. I do like Breece Hall in this like mini bring back and then making this a Dak team. All right, Breece Hall goes. So scratch that. Do we have a quarterback we want? We could do Dak anyway. All right, let's take our guy. Let's take Woody Marks. So we got Hampton, Marks, Pickens, Ted McMillan, and Bowers, and we're going to make this a Dakota Prescott team. So yeah, like the team. I think this is fine. I don't think any of y'all are in here to go over, but we'll make this a Dak team. We don't need to make another Bryce Young team, although we could have. We could have made a Geno team, or we could just take an unstacked one off. But I think this time we'll just go for this Dak Dak skinny stack here. All right. Did you just call him Broccoli Bowers? Yes, I occasionally do call him Broccoli Bowers. It makes me laugh inside. So I'm glad someone else appreciated that. Williams, with timestamps, you need your first one to be 00 for to auto chapter. I just looked into why. Oh man. Okay. If you don't do that, it's just clickable from details. Okay. 00 the beginning and 2 BRs. All right. I don't know if I actually did that correctly. I actually hadn't clicked save on any of those, so I thought if I clicked save, it actually was going to exit me out of the whole thing. All right, let's try. Let's do, I think, like one more Dawg Bowl and 2 BRs, I think, and then I'm probably going to call it because I'm actually I'm struggling to breathe while I'm talking. So I feel like I'm not doing you guys any great service here. It's a big struggle being under the weather, but all right, we got one more for a Dawg Bowl. If anyone wants to hop on in, and I will make this another 58 minutes Dawg Bowl 2. All right, look at this production value skyrocketing. All right, so we got oh god. All right, we got Go AZ Cards at the 2. We got Nez at the 3. We got Pollock at the 4. Casey Pollock at the 4. Patrick Barnes. We got our arch rival Dave. We got me at the 7. Crutches at the 8. Dear God, people. And I feel like Kobe Goat is somebody. And I like these. Why do I do these? All right. Add a space between the last number and the dash, maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I did. Or I thought I did. I don't actually know if I'm doing these right. I may not actually be doing timestamps. Production value might actually be getting worse, believe it or not. All right, let's see. Okay, so for some reason the 0, the timestamp for 0 is working. Why would that be? I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Well, this I may have to fix after, unfortunately. All right. Okay. Well, back to the draft. Back to the draft. Sir Broccolus Bowers. Yes. The first one showing it. Yeah. I got to figure out why that is, because I thought you just literally just typed in the number and off you went, but evidently not. All right. We're coming up though. Time to lock in. Time to get serious. Do we want one of Amon-Ra? Do we want JSN or do we want Cam Scatabo? Dear God. I mean, we all know the answer, right? I do really like JSN. However, let's be serious. We run a serious channel here, and we're going to take Cam Scatabo. All right. So we take Scatabo. We'll see if Crutches takes the JSN value, or if he goes running back. I'll feel a little better about myself if Crutches takes a running back, but we will see. We will see. I am a little perplexed as to why the timestamp is not showing up right. To be candid with you all, but you know what? I can worry about that later. Okay, so Crutches takes JSN. So probably should have taken JSN, but that's okay. We have to live our truth, and we will take Cam Scatabo. Huhame says 0 chance I take Saquon over Amon-Ra. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pass on Amon-Ra this week. It truly is. He absolutely could just shatter the slate against this really bad Bengals defense. So I am with you. The only thing about Saquon is, you know, we've seen him capable of breaking slates himself, and Denver's run defense is not great, at least not compared to like how we perceive their pass defense. So I don't mind giving that a go. It's interesting, Kobe Goat, this guy going Wilson Nico rather than Wilson Pickens. I think you're going to see a lot of Wilson Pickens teams at the turn in Dawg Bowls, but we did not see that here. All right. So we got Pickens, Jamar Chase, Javonte. Yikes. Man, Jamar Chase is a tough click for me to get to over some of these other options. It's crazy for me to be considering Javonte Williams, being how out I was over the summer. Donnie Murphy, I came on late, so playing catch up. I want to say GM for the algo. Hey, Donnie Murphy, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, we've run a couple Dawg Bowls. I think about 5 BRs. We're gonna run 2 more BRs and then probably wrap it here today. All right, so Pickens goes. Oh gosh, I can't believe I really want Javonte Williams. And I think I really want Javonte Williams. All right, we'll take Javonte. I mean, he's just been getting all the work, and the Jets are not very good. So we'll go Scatabo, Javonte. We'll pass up the opportunity to get, you know, late fun stuff with Woody Marks or with you know, RJ Harvey or any of those guys. So we'll see what we can get. Go AZ cards, timestamp under the weather. Yes, it would just be the entire thing, just be the entire draft. Add timestamps to YouTube video. Boy, I feel like an idiot. I'm literally like, I'm so confused. This is not helpful. Make sure your first timestamp starts with 00. That's what I did. These are like normal letters. Why am I? Well, I don't know. I don't know why I do not know why I can't actually have real timestamps. All right. All right. Let's see. Nico versus Tennessee feels like a nuke spot. Yeah, I do like Nico Collins a lot. Definitely gonna have plenty of him in the BRs. James, you seem to have a love-hate relationship with this team. Oh, yeah. I mean, Scatabo is a guy I clicked in, 30% of my BBMs or something. And Javonte, I clicked it like, I don't know if I have any of him. Like, I probably have at least one. Let's see. Javonte Williams. 3. I have 3 Javonte Williams team, and one is advancing. One is advancing. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Does it actually have life? It's a real mixed bag. It's got Jaden Higgins on it, which seems not great. But yeah, this is why we can't have nice things like timestamps. I know I'm not afforded like even a little treat. You know, I can't even have timestamps. I just don't get it. So Nez, we see Nez, he takes Justin Fields there, so he takes the first QB off the board. In addition to Gibbs, let's see what direction he goes. Wow, go AZ cards, Montgomery 26. I mean, he wasn't coming back to you at 47, so go AZ cards. He's got A-Chain, Pittman, and Montgomery. Who aims Scatterbo exposure is what I got you in my Hertzing lineup. Yeah, I mean, I got to be doing better soon. Better days have to be ahead for me in the Hertzing contest. I have a lot of teams in third place, like a weirdly high amount. So I think I'm going to come up from 20 teams advancing. I'm guessing I'll get like 25 by the end, unless, catastrophic injuries can change everything, as we know. But that would be my my early sort of prediction there. DeGale, as much as I don't want to believe in Javante, he seems inevitable. No Sanders either. Yeah, I'm with you there. It does feel like the time has come for that. And I have a lot of Sanders in BBM. I think I have like 15% or something. It's not great. Not great. This is either Debo or MHJ. I'm almost leaning MHJ on this team. If Benson's out, this could just turn into like a PPR scam. I don't know if Marvin Harrison's who you want to run your scam. I think it would probably be McBride, but I think Harrison could be a good scammer. So let's see. Let's get him onto the team. Go easy card. Since I passed on Gibbs, banking Detroit runs it down. Look at you with the leverage. This is why you're going to the Dawg Bowl, thinking 2 steps ahead here. But yes, you did take A-Chain over Gibbs, so that does make sense. You're literally doubling down on that bet. So I see you go easy cards. So Nez, he took Fergie, so he goes Gibbs, Fields, Fergie. So this is good for us, right? If you're tuning in to this channel, as we've learned, what you want to be doing is paying attention to what other people are doing, not me. So Nez is going to take 2 late receivers. Let's see who those receivers are, because this is going to be valuable insight for the community writ large. Just the way he's built, we know he's going to have to take some scrolly receivers. So let's see who he is taking for that information. Go Easy Cards loves MHJ this week. That makes me happy, but I do worry you are not the most reliable narrator when it comes to liking Cardinals players. I do have some deep concerns that we are perhaps not getting the most unbiased opinion on the situation there. I could be wrong. Though. All right, let's see. AJ Brown, Sutton. I don't think I want to pull up Laporta. I think at the Laporta line, I'm kind of just okay. Scrolling down, boy, we are. I think I'd really prefer Sutton here to another Flowers team. Keenan Allen, I'm just pretty lukewarm on that. Oh, he takes Herbert. Thank goodness. I'm. Philly's pass defense can be pretty stingy, so I'm not like doing cartwheels about getting Sutton, but I do think Sutton, it was kind of a mini tier break. If I wasn't worried about Stigley, I'd probably be doing another Flowers team, but I'm like kind of worried about that. I don't want to have tons of Flowers. So, all right, Mike Robb, damn, you are ready right there. About ready to burst out. 14 third place teams and 23 fourth place teams. The candle about to do. I'm telling you, Mike, I'm so close to advancing like a ton of teams. But right now I only have 20. So I was not exaggerating. I'm like, I felt like every time I scroll down, I'm like, God, I have a ton of teams. A ton of teams on the bubble. So hopefully those of you who rostered me in the Hertzing contest will get their just desserts when that comes. So, all right, let's see what Nez is doing. He takes Keenan, so that's not that interesting. Just hoping we get some more alpha than Keenan Allen. It's a perfectly reasonable click. Crutches, he took Herbert over here unstacked, but I mean, it was either Browning or Darnold, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that from Crutches. We'll see if he takes Gadsden or if he's fine just with the unstacked Herbert. And yet again, we have a nose-blowing intermission. Perfect. Not so narrowcast. First of all, thanks for coming in, hanging out. I apologize. You come in, you comment, and I'm there. I'm honking my nose, but this draft is getting good after the scat pick. Well, I appreciate that. I like this team. I think it is. I think it actually is getting kind of good. It does concern me that you're not including Scatabo as part of the draft being good. But I do appreciate the support and the vote of confidence for the other parts of the team. But I do agree. I feel like there are times when you get frozen out at positions, or there are times when you can catch the last of a tier. And I feel like we kind of caught the last of some of the tiers as this draft moved through. So I agree. I like the team. And again, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. I am probably just going to take Kyler here, unless there's some great tight end value. Let's see. So we got Kyler and we got Nix as possibilities. We have two people that need quarterbacks, and Buster's boy with McBride. I don't think I can push Kyler past him. I think I'd prefer Kyler to Nix. And I don't think the downgrade. Let's see. 3 tight ends are going to go. So if we look at the tight ends, Juwan Johnson, Goddard, Waller. So are we okay with Mason Taylor? I feel like we are. So if I'm okay, am I okay with Darren Waller is the question, because that really could be where we end up. That's a little bit of a tougher question for me. Versus Bo Nix. I would be somewhat surprised if Ingle takes Bo Nix, but he could. And then I'm in unstacked territory. So, oh my God, Dave, my nemesis. Why did you take Kyler? Because you have Benson. Go find a new hobby. Go find something else to do. Because your hobby appears to be ruining my draft. All right, so do we... all right, we'll take Bo Nix. I can't believe Dave. Dave, you are an absolute nightmare. There. All right, let's see. Greg says, Chad, you are at the center of the Scatabo universe. Your Scatabo support has its own gravity. Yeah, I mean, if Scatabo does well, the Hertzig people who rostered me do well. I like that it's a chain reaction. I hate that JT Sanders still has an out tag. I think Carolina tight end will do well. I want a last round swap. I've been taking Tommy Trumbull in these Go AZ cards. I will confess that. Mike Robb, at some point, we need a live stream with you and Meg watching a Giants game going full Scatabo. Yeah, I'm sure we could arrange that. We do not live very far apart. Greg, I'm sat on the sideline watching everyone at Scatabo Fawn really blew it. Greg, all summer, we were with the propaganda. He might be close to top, but the Shoups exist. Yeah, they have been on the bandwagon and went, hey, Justin, thanks so much. Hope you win a seat soon, sir. Thank you. I hope so too. I would love that. I would be euphoric. Like I would really be happy with that. Mason Taylor went. I feel like I miscounted. Or did someone take 2 tight ends? Yeah, this Kobe guy. God bless America. Why would you take 2 tight ends? Juwan Johnson and Dallas Goedert? My enemies are numerous, and they are out to get me today. I feel like a wide receiver. I'm just gonna be like tweeting cryptic messages that my All right, so what do we want to do? Waller, Mark Andrews, Tommy Trumbull. Tommy Trumbull goes. Oh, this is killer. I guess I'll take Waller. This feels disgusting, but I'm going to take Darren Waller here. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, these guys are fine. My backup literally is Tommy Trumbull every time. Mark Andrews is fine, but Likely's coming back, and now it's Cooper Rush. I don't know if I really see that. Theo Johnson's fine, but like maybe if I had taken Dart, this stinks. I wonder if I'd taken if Nix would have gone, but there's a world where the Dart drafter would have taken Nix instead if you're looking for an unstacked quarterback. So a little unfortunate there. Greg says, Mike, I need to see. Yeah, we'll have to arrange that. Hey, GM Hartman, thanks so much for coming in. Huhaim's reminding the people, don't forget to hit the like. I sure did. Hey, Huhaim, thanks so much for the for the reminder for people. So Nez took Chris Godwin, by the way. That was our Nez Alpha. Chris Godwin there at 51. So I think he's not taken in all of these. And then Malik Washington. So yeah, I promised you guys some alpha, and you got it. Nez taking Godwin and Malik Washington there. So a couple of interesting late receiver clicks. Mike says, heard Dave and Patrick Barnes YouTube have a group chat on how to snipe you. Yeah, apparently they do. I don't know why, but appreciate Angry Chad validating my own rage. You get unfiltered. I do not change who I am for all of you. This is me. Chad and Fanspeak made me feel like I faded Scatabo with only 50. And well, you did fade Scatabo, being 2x the field. And yeah, I am very the place I went really nuts was the Badge Bros Brawl, where I have 89% Scatabo in 120 drafts. I was just like, if Scatabo's who you need, I'm simply going to win the Badge Bros Brawl. Can't take an AZ player from the AZ fan, but the leader of Scatabo fan club is an ASU alum. I'm telling you, go AZ cards. I never bought Brock Osweiler. I didn't like when the Dolphins took Hogan. I didn't like Ayuk. I am not a homer. In fact, I grade my teams on a curve. If you know me about my Dolphins, I just assume they all suck. I assume ASU players all suck. This was different. I am not a blind homer. In fact, I might have been underrating Scatabo. Who Ames has 25% Scatabo. Yeah, that's awesome. 25 scat is perfect. Greg asking if we can memory wipe the Waller stuff. Oof. Well, maybe for this week we use him. I really did not think I was going to actually get Darren Waller there, but Kobe Goat and Dave, the enemy speaks kindly and carries a knife. Who Hames, Godwin is a fun BR scroll, and I appreciate Nez for reminding me of that. FK Course, Dave is one of the Sim Bros, right? I see him all the time. Yeah, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I am. Dave, if you're watching, I'm joking with you. You can take whoever you want. I don't actually dislike you. But in this draft, you screwed me. You screwed me pretty bad because that was the plan. Chris, seems like more people should be subscribed. I mean, Chris, I agree. But you know what? All we can do is ask the folks to like and sub. Let's hop in another BR. We're going to do 2 more BRs, and then we will get on out of here. I am going to add another timestamp. Sorry about that. What does that mean? What is sorry about that? It's Dave. Okay, no. I thought Dave got me banned. All right, we're back in business. We are back in business. I'm going to put another timestamp that doesn't work up. 1:18:00. Fifth BR. All right, sweet. I'm definitely going to do some of the side contests. They can take a while to fill, so I'm not going to try to do those now. But I'm going to be doing the some of the smaller ones as well. No need to couch. Dave's clearly a terrible human being. Yeah, Dave looked at my team and he said, "This guy wants Kyler," and yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna ruin his day. I want to say it works for ETR, but I could be making that up. Well, ETR is the 500-pound gorilla in the room that moves markets, and now they're like BlackRock, right? BlackRock, they do this, that, and the other. Now they're buying single-family homes, and they're driving up prices for good, honest Americans. And that's what Dave is doing. Not only does Dave work for big ETR, but he is taking food off of the table of a small enterprising streamer. You just hate to see it. You just hate to see it. Hartman, how many Scatabo teams does top Scatabo BBM owner have? I don't actually know it. And I know it's not me because I did not. I feel like someone has like 80. I feel like someone has like 80 teams, Hartman, but I could be wrong. Almost took Godwin over Olave. Well, go AZ Cards. Now we know you would have been in good company with Nez taking him. Mike Rob, he doesn't mean that, Dave, you are the enemy and Chad will strike you down with the fury of the stuff. No. Yeah, I can, if I met Dave right now, all I have to do is be really nice, shake his hand, and you know what? Dave is going to have a stuffed nose for the next week and a half because I have a wicked, highly contagious cold. Who Ames? I just heard Dave say best $25 I ever spent. Yeah. Dave just bought up the block of houses and is now turned them into rentals so that Gen Z can never buy a home. That's what Dave is doing. Yeah, 85 Scatabo teams for Roberto Crunch. Hey, Roberto Crunch, our king. Good for you, man. Good for you. I just can't get that high in anybody because injuries happen, no matter how high I am on them. And that's why I did it in the Badge Bros Brawl, because I said, well, if this contest, if he gets hurt, I lose. But I didn't want to like fire all my bullets in BBM on one player when that is a possibility. We've done like a ton of Hampton teams. Let's try to make the best Wilson Pickens team. This is going to be done. Well, Go Easy Cards could take Pickens, and if he does, that's fine. Assuming he does not take Pickens, we're going to try to make the best iteration of a Wilson Pickens team. If he does, then we're just going to play a vanilla team here. All right. Thank you, Go Easy Cards, for not sniping me on this little project here. I like the McBride pick. So Go Easy Cards, he goes Hampton McBride. I go Wilson Pickens. I think if you want to get different with Wilson and Pickens, just don't take Fields or Dak. I'm not saying not to take Fields or Dak, but I'm saying if you're concerned about dupes, I think you could very much dedupe yourself by taking a different quarterback in these teams, because they're almost my gut says they're almost always going to be stacked with one of those QBs. I don't Down Money, you're in here. You're Mike Robb. All right, so you've got Jonathan Taylor. Let's see which way you take it. So a nice friends and family room here. Derrick Henry makes sense. See, we already have 2 tight ends going in the second round. So people are just less in on the scrolly tight ends this week, which is understandable. It does feel like after Ferguson, it becomes kind of just take whomever. Although it is interesting to have Laporta and the underdog projections projecting for more. We'll see what ETR when they come out, what they say. I mean, my goodness, this is a big fall for Saquon. Why is nobody wants Saquon? I'll take Saquon if he falls to me. I'm not going to not do that. All right, so Saquon does not fall to us. I will take no. You know what? We're going to take Bowers first. I'm not going to get different in this one by taking a different quarterback. I think I am going to do a QB stack, but I'm going to get scrolly with my running backs, I think. So that's how we're going to get different. If Go Easy Cards takes Fields, we'll probably just take Dak, but we will see. We will see. Sladen says, just a fun week of dream matchups compared to last week. I like this slate, I think, more than last week. First of all, Sladen, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out. But yeah, I like this week a lot. So Go Easy Cards takes Fields at Hall. I actually like that. I don't think people are going to do that super frequently. But I guess here, oh man, I don't know. I'm just going to take Nico Collins. We'll make a 3 wide receiver team on this one. We'll go 3 wide on this crew. I'll pull the board up. But yeah, it is a fun slate. In the 6-person BRs, there are some good scrolls that don't feel. Sometimes it almost feels like there's too many scrolls. Like I feel like there is kind of a bottom limit down here. And I do like some of the games. I think there's some fun games to stack. There's ways to get different. This is a good slate. The Dawg Bowl, I'm not quite as into. The last round doesn't feel super comfy, but I don't know. I like the main BR slate a lot. Go Easy Cards Laporta is my favorite 4th DBQ or 6th round BR tight end. Interesting. I probably should be more into Laporta because I was so into him like pre-draft, and now he just like feels just kind of like okay. Like he feels like middling into me, like you're not getting an elite tight end. But he is live for just one of those just like eruption weeks that he does do that we forget about. He's just been kind of quiet, like quietly just doing his thing this year. Mike Robb, how is Lamar still listed as a Q? Do they have to wait for an actual practice report, even though he has? You know what, Mike? That's a good question. I don't know how Underdog does it. So I'm with you there. I'm not sure because it does seem like he is out, but yeah. I don't know if they wait for practice reports or not. Jake says, damn, I thought the JT Saquon I got yesterday would be different. Yeah, that's Saquon at 16. My goodness. That is very nice for old psychedelic curs there. So we need a running back. I can queue up Dak, but I'm not going to take Dak because Go Easy Cards already has a quarterback. He has to take 2 wide receivers anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. He can't take another running back. I don't think I want to you know what? Let's overstack. I don't do a ton of overstacks in the main BR, but it doesn't matter what order I take these in. So we'll take Dak, and then we'll take Javonte. So we'll have Dak, Javonte, and then Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, Nico, and Bowers here. We'll just play this game to kind of be a shootout. Maybe we get a Javonte reception touchdown here. So a little bit of a different build. I sprinkle in a few overstacks every now and then. The Gale says this will be the slate where Henry, Barkley, and Jamar Chase remind us. I know. That's my fear. That's my fear, especially on DK. It's like, because you could just hear it. Like, oh, you faded Derrick Henry when Lamar was out. Of course he was going to get 30 carries. Oh, they're playing Houston. You know, what are you, an idiot? Like, I could just so see it happening. Like, it just the story is very obvious, but it doesn't feel great right now because he has not looked very good. Slayton, it's liberating not needing Puka, so you could scroll wide receiver and JT Gibbs are both convinced. Yeah, I agree there. It is nice not having, like, Amon-Ra is good, but he's not Puka last week. I'm with you there. Who Ames kind of likes Henry this week. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's live to get a gorillion touches. So I'm with you there. I'm taking him in BRs, mostly out of fear, because I'm scared of the Henry game that could be coming. All right, so let's see what Down Money Mike did. Taylor, Henry, Jamar Chase, JMO, Ferguson, and Daniel. So he goes with the buying the Dipperino on a couple of these with Chase and a little lesser extent Henry. Go AZ cards. He goes Hampton, McBride, Fields, Brees, Pittman, and Harrison. So we're kind of a nice yin and yang of that Jets Cowboys game there. Going with 2 Cardinals, but no Cards QB. So overstacking a couple of heavy bets on individual games there. All right. I like the team. We'll do one more BR, and then I'm going to get on out of here. But appreciate you all support. If you can, like and subscribe. Before we go, we are at 127, 6th BR. I will try to figure out why my thumbnails not working, or my timestamps aren't working, but we will see. Mike says, so far I'm 5 of 5 getting Henry at BR this week, going big. Wow. Yeah, that's a big stand. I very seldom go all in on somebody, but what just happened? Oh, I'm the one. Sweet. Okay. So I'm the 101. We got Go AZ cards here. We got someone named Colt Fan. We'll see if they actually stack the Colts. Sorry that I'm getting Jonathan Taylor. I hope he doesn't throw the draft because of that. But we'll see if he makes a Daniel Jones stack. I remember the time I was drafting a BBM my first year. I was getting into it, and I had Waddle and Tyreek, and I tried to push Tua around the turn because the person had no Dolphins. It didn't make sense, and immediately realized the guy at the turn's name was Tua Stan, like that was his username, and he took Tua, and I was like, "Yep, that was my fault. I should have seen that coming." Artman, reaching for JT to snipe the Colts fan. Well, this is what happens. You know, Dave comes along, and now I feel like Anakin, and I know what I should be, but I'm not, and I'm turning to the dark side. So I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor at the 101 ahead of Colt Fan, just to ruin his day. But no, of course. I am kidding. I'm mostly taking the first round generally at ADP, at least on Wednesdays, and then maybe the week before the weekend we could do some scrolls. I need some like themes for the days. Mike says, crazy how Tua Stan lost all his money and isn't on the platform anymore. Wonder what yeah, no one could have predicted. No one could have predicted this, that Tua Stan would have gone busto. All right, let's see what Go AZ cards concocts. Does he do? So he gets Amon-Ra at the 5. Henry goes at the 4. Is that? What is? Oh God, what did I just hit? What is Henry's ADP? Slated. Yeah, 11. Okay, I thought that was weird. All right, so Slated agrees. Maybe he's watching. Decided that that Derrick Henry is the smash you need. Go easy cards going JSN. So I'm going wide receiver. Wide receiver on this one. Trying to figure out what we want to do. Do we want to scroll for running back? Do we want to? I think if Saquon's here, we just take Saquon. But that seems unlikely. So maybe we look for some opportunities to get a little different. So Trey McBride goes. Saquon goes. All right, let's get a little weird and go Tet and Waddle. Let's go Tet Waddle. We'll build out that game stack there, and then figure out what we want to do with our running back. And we're going to scroll at running back. Waddle, I probably need to take Waddle there, but Tet, there was no guarantee Tet would be there at 24. That was a closer call, but I do like Tet a lot this week. Waddle obviously could be the straw that stirs the drink in Miami, so I've been trying to grab some of him. Don't love it. Don't feel like I gotta like windmill jam Waddle in all of these, especially if he's going to end up drafted in the majority of contests. But I do like him, and I definitely really do like Ted McMillan quite a bit. All right, let's see what Go AZ Cards does. Let's Get Weird was hoping you clicked Scatterbo. Yeah, it was tempting. It was tempting to just do it. Hartman asks, are you ever scrolling to Pollard or Chase Brown? On Wednesday, no, but let's talk at the end of the week. I might. I see the vision for Chase Brown just because the Lions defense is like exploitable. It's a division game. You know, he can catch passes a little bit. I don't love it, but I don't want to like say hard and fast like no, I'm not doing it. But Pollard's a little squirrely because I think Spears is coming back, so I kind of want to see what the Spears ramp up is. I don't want to draft like Pollard in a timeshare that much. Mike asks Hartman, it's too early for 2 bong hits in the day with that question. Well, it's close. It's close, Mike, but I don't think that's unreasonable. If he asked me about like Justice Hill, if he's like, what if Cooper Rush throws to Justice Hill? Then it's like, all right, that's getting a little out there. But you know, Pollard and Chase are. It's not a hard question. Sometimes you say no. No, I'm not saying no. I actually think I'll probably end up with a smidge. All right, let's take Bowers and what do we want to do? What do we want to do? I guess we'll just do Woody Marks. Let's just do Woody Marks. All right, so we got Jonathan Taylor, Woody Marks, Ted McMillan, Jalen Waddle, and Brock Bowers, and we'll see what quarterback we get. I don't know if I want to do another Chase Young team. I thought about just taking a rushing quarterback there, like Jaden Daniels. Maybe that would have been better. But then I really would have been screwing over Colt Fan after he took Debo. So I don't want to go full Dave. You know, you never go full Dave. Huabe says Spears just activated the practice window, not to play yet. Okay, well then maybe Pollard is worth a look. Where is he even going? Yeah, 35.9. So he's barely getting drafted. I don't think we're like scared of the Cards rush defense. Mike says it's really the Pollard part. I have so much of him. It's disappointing how he did nothing in 4 games. It seems like it'd be easy to lose more work to Spears. Yeah, but I feel like it's just like a Titans systemic risk situation. Yeah, I'm with you, Slayton. Seeing Jamar Chase in round 6 is jar. Oh, you're in the room. All right, I'll go over your team. I didn't even realize you were in here. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? I will take Bryce Young here. I'll do another Bryce Young team. I thought about taking Unstacked Dart, but I don't think I want to go Jones. Jonathan Taylor, I will play this game as the shootout. So let's see what Slayton. I apologize, I missed your team. So you got Henry, Pickens, Scatabo, Ferguson, Dak, and Jamar Chase. Yeah, I think it's a perfectly reasonable team. Go AZ Cards goes Amon-Ra, JSN, Justin Fields, Javonte Montgomery, and Mason Taylor. Yeah, I think Fields, Mason Taylor, it's not going to be like never done, but it's not going to be common. So I like that. And yeah, I think you've definitely got different enough. I like this. I like the way you played this Dallas Jets game there. And of course, our team ends up being JT, Ted McMillan, Jalen Waddle, Brock Bowers, Woody Marks, and Bryce Young. Hartman, Titans look tragic. Yeah, I'm with you, Hartman. I think it's more of a team issue than a Tony Pollard issue. It's not like Surtain is chasing him. That is fair. That is fair. Better days must be ahead, right? Jake Browning. Well, unfortunately, yeah, we're all dreaming of Jameis there, Slayton. But yeah, unfortunately, as Hartman notes, we do still have to deal with Jake Browning. Mike says, True Hartman, the best two plays Ward has had, throws across his body and a broken down play to Io Manor. Can't do anything with the actual gameplay. Yep. Yeah, every highlight of Ward is like him rolling out, scrambling, and throwing across his body there. But all right, everyone, as you can see, I can no longer breathe through my nose. This is a struggle. I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully we will do better. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub on the way out. I had a really fun time with you all today. I hope you had a good draft. Go AZ Cards notes. Before you log off, moment of silence to the Chargers wide receiver 1 finally getting the correct ADP. Long live QJ. Indeed, if you notice this draft board, there's no Lad McConkey. He's a guy I would 2,000% be scrolling to. I think you should be taking him, sprinkling him in as a late click in BRs because we know what he can do. You're probably going to lose that BR, but if you are building a portfolio, I would not want to have no Lad there. Huham says I'm willing to lose to Jamar. Yeah, it is tough. The Gale, another great stream. Hey, the Gale, thanks so much. It means a lot for you to say that. Huham's asking Lad or Jamar. I'd say Jamar, just because we have seen Browning hyper target Jamar Chase before, and if we ever were to get a bounce back, hopefully it would be against the Lions, where I don't know, but it's tough. It's not. I wish it was not close because it is kind of close. All right, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.